TikTok, the time bomb that will split the internet. Well, Trump has been going on a crusade for the past weeks to really ban every Chinese application from American soil. He doesn't want them on any servers. He's talking about a national security risk, a Trojan Horse. Basically, he believes that these Chinese apps is a way for the Chinese Communist Party to steal data from American citizens, to spy on them and take that data and do some harm with it. And so Trump has decided to ban a lot, actually all the Chinese apps in America. And the two main ones we have to talk about is WeChat and TikTok. WeChat in itself is the main communication channel in China. It's like WhatsApp used in the West, but this is being used for every business deal. And that means that 3 million users in the US, mainly Chinese students as well as businessmen, are using it daily to communicate with the people back in China. So canceling this, banning this, means that all these American businesses suddenly don't have a way to connect with their suppliers, with their partners, with their clients back in China. This is a huge deal. Now, TikTok is a very different story. TikTok has 165 million downloads. It's 80 million people that are using TikTok every day in America. So most of the Americans, especially young people, are on TikTok. And so banning TikTok means you would upset 1 out of 3 Americans. That's a lot. But Trump decides he's going to ban it anyway. But he's given some delay. He's told to TikTok and their management, if basically by 15th of September, so in 30 days from now, TikTok would find a buyer, then it would be okay. But the buyer has to be American. That's one condition. So TikTok has to be bought by an American company. Now, the most likely prospect is Microsoft. Microsoft is not part of the Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, like antitrust breaches that is talking about in the Senate right now. And so Microsoft is quite safe. Would be a good deal for Microsoft, would be a good deal for TikTok, but it's not so nice for TikTok that they would lose the American market, of course. But is this really going to happen? I mean, there's 3 big problems if that would happen. First of all, Trump said very clearly that if TikTok gets purchased by an American company like Microsoft, he wants the US Treasury to earn money. So the US government should earn money. I mean, this is almost close to corruption. It's like getting a back deal on a business deal. This is not something governments do anywhere in the world. Maybe corrupt governments do, but America shouldn't be doing this. When we look at Chinese government, they're furious. They basically believe banning TikTok is kind of like a blackmail, a boycott. If they do that, it's like stealing this technology or buying it at a very cheap price. So the Chinese government doesn't think TikTok should sell it anyway. They should sue the American government. Now, the Chinese netizens, they believe that this is just not done. And so they're very upset. And some of them might even leave TikTok in China if this happens. Now, the question is really, what is Microsoft buying? Because the holy grail of this product is really its algorithms. It's the AI algorithms, artificial intelligence algorithms that feed this engine. This is why it's so addictive and why most of the young people in the world are on TikTok. They're on TikTok because the algorithms can find the best dances and crazy and funny videos, embarrassing videos and cat videos that everybody likes. And so this is something they should then sell to Microsoft. But are they going to sell this holy grail? Knowing that most of it has been developed by hundreds and hundreds of Chinese engineers. Are they going to ship these engineers to the US? Are they going to get visas in the US? Or is Microsoft going to start it all over again? Big questions. So it's not so clear what is going to happen. But it's clear TikTok will either be part of a big company from America like Microsoft, or it will be banned before the end of September. So what is the relevance of banning TikTok in itself? Because it's a very special company, and so I believe we have to understand what this company is about. Actually, TikTok is a very, very young company. It's like 5 years old. The founder is 37 years old, Zhang Yiming. The most of the people at TikTok, and there's 50,000 people working there, the average age is 27 years old. And they're all over the world. But most of these people are very modern Chinese, young Chinese. Most of them have been overseas educated. So a very different type of company. if you would look at it and you wouldn't know it, you would really think this is an American company. And actually it makes sense. TikTok itself in the US and in the West started from a company called Musical.ly. That was a product which is doing pretty much the same as TikTok. And they acquired that a couple of years ago. And so this was an American product for American kids with an American management system. And today even there's an American management system managing the whole American site. So if you would ask any kid in America, is TikTok American or not? Most of them would say yes. I mean, it's all running also on American servers. You don't feel anything of it being Chinese. Now, on top of that, TikTok is really not a copycat. It's quite the opposite, because TikTok is being copied by Facebook and many others today. They're like years ahead of Facebook. Today, the product Reels from Facebook and Instagram is actually a copycat of TikTok. So this is quite important to know, because banning TikTok means that you would ban a competitor that is more advanced than you and force them to actually get acquired by a US company. That sounds like competition, or unfair competition, I would say. Now, on top of that, TikTok is one of the most successful companies in the world. And in social media, it's the only company that is actually successful both outside China and inside China. And inside China, the product is even called different. It's called Douyin. So they have a dual strategy. And that Douyin product, which is similar to TikTok, the features are 1 to 2 years ahead of the Western TikTok. So really advanced. In the West, we have TikTok. And as I said, it's running on local servers. It's very separated. Now, a lot of people in the West will say, yeah, but I mean, most of these US social media are not allowed to get into China. There's a great firewall. Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're all blocked in China. So why can't we block TikTok? It's the same thing, right? Reciprocity, that's what we talk about. But there's actually a big mistake in that reasoning. The reality is that China is not banning any product from anywhere in the world. What they do is they censor and they control the internet. China has a controlled internet, and that means there's very strict regulations. I used to have a social network in China, and I had to abide according to the local regulations. It's completely okay to run your product as a foreign company according to the Chinese regulation, but they're strict. You have to have your data in China, and you have to have an army of people that basically censor everything that's not okay. Most American companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon, they all tried, and they tried a few times and then they gave up. But there are companies like LinkedIn that is running quite well in China. Or the Apple Store. If you look at Uber before they got acquired, it was totally okay. So a lot of products actually make it in China, but it's tough to look at this local market. So it's a very different concept. But now the US wants to ban this Chinese company. It's not about regulation anymore. The other thing is that basically China never claimed to be an open, free internet market. I mean, it's a closed market and we all know about it, but US does claim that. And America and the West, we claim that the internet should be free, available to everyone. And so now closing it up is actually against, I would believe, our beliefs ourselves. And so what we are doing now is, this is a precedent. We're killing the free internet by doing it. It means we're building a wall from outside China, or outside the West, I would say, with inside the West. And so Trump is maybe finally going to get his wall built, but it's going to be an internet wall. And so what we're having now is a split that is starting to happen between the south and the north of this planet. Because if you think about it, if you think about a Chinese entrepreneur, imagine that you are the founder of a social media company in China, very successful. You want to go global. What are you going to do? You're going to go to America? Probably not. I mean, you're going to get banned, or you're going to get your product sold cheap, or basically stolen like citizens in China say. So what are you going to do? You're going to focus all your energy on those markets that actually want to accept your product. And that's Southeast Asia, it's Africa, it's South America, it's Middle East, it's hundreds of countries. And that's going to be the big battlefield for the internet. But now these Chinese companies that were spending their money in the West are now going to spend their money in the south of this planet, except maybe for India and Australia and New Zealand. So what's happening by banning WeChat, by banning TikTok, the world is starting to split the internet in two. And this is what we now call the splinternet. And Trump will have started it. And whether he wins or not the election, we will see what will happen. But reality is, this is the beginning of a new world.